Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Liverpool's January transfer window is quietly edging toward a decisive phase, one that could shape not only the remainder of this season, but also the structure of the squad for years to come. After a summer in which the club invested more than £400 million to refresh and reinforce almost every department, there was always an expectation that the winter window would be approached with caution. Yet football rarely allows long periods of calm, and as the deadline draws closer, circumstances are pushing Liverpool back into the market. On the pitch, the picture is mixed, but far from bleak. Arne Slot has guided his side through a demanding run of fixtures with resilience, keeping Liverpool unbeaten in recent weeks and securing an impressive Champions League victory in Marseille. That European result has lifted confidence and placed the Reds in a strong position to reach the knockout stages. Domestically, however, the situation is less comfortable. A series of draws has slowed momentum in the Premier League, opening up a significant gap to leaders Arsenal and putting extra pressure on Liverpool to consolidate their place in the top four. It is this tension between progress and vulnerability that has defined Liverpool's thinking in the transfer market. The club's hierarchy are acutely aware that the foundations of the current squad are strong, but also that certain fault lines are becoming harder to ignore. Nowhere is that more apparent than in central defence. The failed pursuit of Mark Guehi earlier in the season left Liverpool short of the reinforcement they had identified as a priority, and the long-term uncertainty surrounding Ibrahima Konate has only intensified the need for clarity. Konate is widely expected to leave Anfield at the end of the season, potentially on a free transfer, a scenario Liverpool are keen to avoid repeating after past contract situations. Virgil van Dijk, while still performing at a high level, is also moving into the latter stages of his career, making succession planning unavoidable rather than optional. Against that backdrop, it is no surprise that Liverpool have stepped up their interest in Borussia Dortmund centre-back Nico Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck has been admired by Liverpool for some time, viewed as one of the most complete defenders in the Bundesliga. Strong in the air, composed in possession, and tactically intelligent, the German international fits the profile of a modern centre-back capable of thriving in Slot's system. Reports suggest Liverpool are weighing up a move in the region of £56 million, a significant outlay, but one that reflects both the player's quality and the market reality for top-level defenders. The timing of any potential deal remains delicate. Liverpool's original plan was to wait until the summer, when Schlotterbeck's contract situation could make him more attainable if no extension is agreed at Dortmund. Talks between the player and his club are ongoing, but the lack of a breakthrough has not gone unnoticed at Anfield. With defensive frailties occasionally exposed this season, there is a growing sense that waiting may carry its own risks, especially if other elite clubs decide to act. At the same time, Liverpool's defensive planning is complicated further by developments on the flanks. Andy Robertson, a key figure in the club's success over the past 8 years, appears to be edging toward the exit. Having fallen down the pecking order following the arrival of Milos Kerkez, the Scotland international has started just 4 Premier League matches this season. Tottenham have moved quickly to capitalise, advancing talks over a deal reportedly worth around £5 million. Robertson's willingness to embrace a new challenge has accelerated negotiations, and with his contract due to expire in the summer, Liverpool face a familiar dilemma. Allowing him to leave now would at least generate a fee, but it would also leave Arne Slot short of experienced options at left-back during a crucial phase of the season. The possibility of recalling Kostas Tsimikas from his loan spell at Roma has been discussed internally, underlining how interconnected Liverpool's transfer decisions have become. What emerges is a picture of a club carefully balancing short-term needs against long-term strategy. Liverpool are not in panic mode, nor are they inclined to repeat the heavy spending of the summer. Instead, they are scanning the market for opportunities that align with their broader vision, even if that means acting sooner than planned. The pursuit of Schlotterbeck, combined with the potential departure of Robertson, reflects a willingness to make bold but calculated adjustments. As deadline day approaches, Liverpool's transfer window is likely to be defined not by volume, but by significance. One major defensive addition, coupled with a veteran departure, could subtly but decisively alter the trajectory of the season. For Arne Slot, the coming days represent a chance to. Liverpool's January campaign continues to unfold with a familiar mix of frustration on the pitch and intrigue off it, as the club finds itself once again at a crossroads between immediate ambition and long-term planning. A fourth successive Premier League draw at Anfield, this time against Burnley, has only intensified scrutiny around Arne Slot's side and sharpened focus on the transfer market as the window edges toward its closing stages. While Florian Wirtz's first-half goal briefly lifted spirits, Marcus Edwards' equaliser after the break underlined a recurring problem. Liverpool are competitive, creative, and often dominant, yet unable to turn control into decisive victories. That lack of cutting edge has inevitably fed into transfer discussions, with midfield reinforcement emerging once more as a central theme. The disappointment of missing out on Mark Guehi has already been digested painfully by supporters. Guehi's decision to join Manchester City, accompanied by his description of them as the best team in England, felt like a symbolic blow as much as a practical one. Liverpool had identified him as a cornerstone for the future of their defence, a leader capable of anchoring the back line for years to come. Instead, that door has closed, forcing the club to recalibrate its priorities and search for solutions elsewhere. In the immediate aftermath, attention has turned back toward midfield, an area that has undergone significant change in recent seasons, but still appears in need of further refinement. Despite Wolves' struggles in the league, André's performances have stood out as a rare constant in a turbulent campaign. The Brazilian has continued to demonstrate composure, positional intelligence, and a level of consistency that has not gone unnoticed across Europe. Clubs in Italy and Turkey have registered their interest, but Liverpool are believed to be the most advanced among English suitors. Reports from Brazil suggest that the Reds have been monitoring André closely, tracking both his on-field displays and underlying statistical metrics. Crucially, Liverpool's interest is said to be independent of Wolves' final league position, indicating a belief that his quality transcends the context of his current team. This is not the first time André's name has appeared on Liverpool's radar. During the summer of 2023, he was considered a serious target as the club sought to rebuild its midfield. That pursuit was ultimately shelved when Fluminense made it clear that the player would not be allowed to leave mid-season, prompting Liverpool to shift focus and secure Wataru Endo instead. Since then, André's move to Wolves in August 2024 has given him the platform to prove himself in the Premier League, and his adaptation to English football has been viewed internally at Anfield as a validation of earlier interest rather than a late discovery. Wolves, for their part, are under no illusions about André's value. Tied to a contract running until June 2029, the midfielder is not available on loan, and any potential deal would have to be permanent. A valuation of no less than €30 million has been set, widely seen as a starting point rather than a final figure.